What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video we're gonna go ahead and do, I would say, about a mid fade or a drop fade, and we're also gonna be adding a nice little part on the right side. So stay tuned. You guys definitely do not want to miss this one because it did come out super dope. But getting straight into this haircut, you guys, the first thing I always do is since we are going to be cutting the top, I always like to go ahead and cut the top first, just to give it shape already from the top, and that way once we go ahead and do the fade on the side, we already know exactly what we need to blend into the top. So yeah, I always like to go ahead and start with the top, so make sure you guys wet the hair first. And here I'm actually starting off in the calic right here in the back. So first things first, locate your calic, comb the hair in the direction that it wants to go. So I mean, this does take a little bit of time, but definitely worth it, so make sure you guys do this. Alright, you guys, so now that his hair is combed exactly how I want it to be, I always like to go ahead and start in the front whenever I'm cutting the top. So this cut that I'm doing right here is going to be the guideline for the top of the hair. And whenever I'm doing these type of haircuts, you guys, I always like to leave the front a little bit longer than the rest of the hair. Just because like once I go in to comb it, I always like to leave a little bit of volume in the front. And I always hate the back when it's super long. I feel like it's really difficult to work with, and it just doesn't listen when it's like that. But at the same time, you don't want to cut it too short, because then you're going to go ahead and start having the problems where the calic starts sticking up. So just slightly taper it once you get to the back, and the haircut will start looking really dope. Alright, right here you guys are going to notice that on the right side I actually am cutting it a lot shorter than the rest of the hair, and that's only because this side is actually where the hair is going to go ahead and lay down. So by cutting it shorter and gradually increasing the length once I get to the left side, that's almost going to be like a blending process with using my scissors. So with these comb overs, I always like to leave wherever the hair is going to lay down a little bit shorter than the rest of the hair, just so the transition makes it a whole lot smoother. Alright, so now that we went ahead and cut the top down, next thing to do is I always like to go ahead and remove the bulk. That way when I go in with my T-outliners or any other guideline that I'm going to do, I have the sides cut down enough so I can see exactly what I am doing. Alright, so now here I'm going to go ahead and start to use a little bit of clipper over comb just to help me blend it just a little bit more. But I'm not really going to be focusing on making it perfect right now, because I know later on, once I'm almost done with the fade, I know I'm going to have to go ahead and do the clipper over comb again. So right now is basically just going to be a rough draft, trying to get the sides down as much as I can so I can see my guidelines better. Alright, so now to go ahead and begin the fade process, I am using the cordless T-outliner. I know I used to use the cordless detailer all the time, but I gotta tell you guys, I found a new favorite clipper to go ahead and just bald out with. I mean, these are so powerful and lightweight, and not having to worry about a cord is just awesome. So these things, I did have to modify them just a little bit. It wasn't nothing too major. I just put on a GTX blade on them, and they just cut through the hair like butter. Like, these are so strong. I definitely recommend it for you guys. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and set in our first guideline. We're using our cordless senior with the lever all the way open. And here I am going up about an inch and still keeping the shape. Since we are dropping it down towards the back, you want to just make sure that you guys keep that shape all throughout the entire haircut. So, in my opinion, don't be afraid to stretch out the blend because really that's gonna be the main reason why your haircuts might not look all that great, because like sometimes you're too scared to stretch your guidelines out and it ends up looking like a super tight blend, and to me honestly that just doesn't look finished to me. I mean that's just my opinion, but if you guys have that problem, I definitely recommend you guys to stretch out the blend. Don't be scared to go up, because you might think that you're going up way too high, but in reality you're just not. So yeah, go ahead and try that. But here I do have the lever all the way closed, and I'm gonna just be flicking out 1/4 of an inch up and then opening the lever halfway and then all the way open, just to go ahead and get rid of that bottom line. Alright, so now I went ahead and attached my number 1 guard, and I opened the lever all the way, and we're gonna go ahead and continue to create a new guideline, also going up about an inch and making sure that I'm also flicking out. Alright, so this next step is going to be really important. Since I am using my half guard, it's very important to not touch the line on top. So basically what I'm going to be doing is working from the top to the bottom, starting with the lever all the way open. I'm going to flick out close to the top line, but not actually touching it. And then I'm going to slowly start closing it all the way until the bottom line is completely erased. So I mean, the main part is just make sure you guys don't touch the line at the top, just because we know that guideline is the 1 guard all the way open, and since we are using a lower guard, it's very important to not go above that line. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, like I said, work your way down, starting with the lever all the way open, halfway, and then eventually all the way closed, and you guys will slowly see that bottom line disappear. So now here I went ahead and reattached my number 1.5 guard, and this time with the lever all the way closed, I'm basically just blending out that little corner right there close to his temple peak point. And once I'm getting towards the top, I'm basically just going to be flicking out just to help me blend it as much as I can before I go in with the clipper over comb and really do some detail work with it. Alright, so now for his haircut, we are actually going to be lining them up, but once I get to the top, you guys are going to see that I kind of left it more on the natural side. But here for the arc, we are going to line it up nice and crispy, and also for the side. Alright, so now it's time for another very important part of the haircut, and it's the blow dry. I always like to blow dry the hair just to really see exactly how the hair lays down, and really it allows me to see exactly what hairs are still hanging over, and it just shows me exactly what hairs I need to cut still. So blow drying is definitely really important on these type of haircuts. So as you guys can see, I am blow drying the cowlick in the direction that it naturally wants to go. Same thing as when we were first starting out, just combing it out, but this time we're actually blow drying it. So yeah, I like to start in the cowlick and then work my way over to the front. And then once we get over to the front, I always like to blow dry it in the opposite direction. That way you get the volume that you want. So yeah, take your time. Make sure you guys don't burn your clients, because that is definitely not comfortable. These blow dryers do get hot, so yeah, definitely just watch out for that. Alright, so now the little part that I did tell you guys about, and hopefully 360 Jeezy is not watching this video, because yes, I did steal his liners for this haircut, just because my liners did break. Not my TL liners, but my slim lines did break, and I find it easier whenever I'm doing any type of parts. I always like using these slim lines because the blade is so small and you really get to do really detailed lines with it. So yeah, once again, I hope Jared's not watching this video, so yeah, don't tell him that I was using his liners. Alright, so now the product that I am going to be using, and my clients absolutely love this product, is the red one, Pomade. This product leaves the hair nice and shiny, and it gives it a nice hold, but it doesn't make it hard like any other gel would. So yeah, my clients do really like this product, and I do too. So yeah, I went ahead and used this. You guys could also use a matte finish product. I think a matte finish product would also look good on these type of haircuts. So that's also another alternative. If you guys do not like it shiny, or your clients do not like it shiny, that's a good alternative to use. But here we are brushing in the product, making sure that we distribute it evenly throughout the entire haircut. But that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something new. But like always, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys share this video with your mom, your auntie, your uncles, whoever. If you guys want them to cut your hair, make sure you guys show them this video. But also leave a comment down below on what type of video you guys want to see next. Once again, I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.